unapproachable, aggressive.
But it's dangerous.
Everyone here like a football hooligan.
We all wear tracksuits, squat, and drink hard liquor.
Yeah, this calling Serb stereotype. Serbia? What?
Serbia is a fascinating place. On the one hand, half of the world still can't place it on the map, and the other half is stuck on some outdated stereotypes about it. Okay, maybe not all of them are outdated. When I crossed the border by bus this time around, I was immediately slapped by your classic Eastern European customer service, which can be described in 2 words: rude and unhelpful. But having spent time in Belgrade a few years ago, what I can describe is a city that was, yes, gritty at times, but also very intense, passionate, soulful, and surprisingly open-hearted. Anyways, a few people that I met in Belgrade told me that I was completely missing out by not coming to Novi Sad, which has a very different feel from the capital. Much slower, more calm, and much more family-friendly. And yes, it lived up to the image. I literally sat in the Danube Park for ages, just watching the families and the kids running around, blowing bubbles, feeding ducks, and I was overwhelmed by this nostalgic feeling. It was like watching my own childhood, except Russia in the 90s was properly gritty. But to be honest, it was such a stark contrast to the many Western European cities today, where you're so often around homelessness, open drug use, and a tense, sketchy energy. But was this just a surface level illusion, or was the city actually as safe as it felt in my tourist mind? I did what I always do. I went out and talked to the expats that have moved here from all over the world.
What's your name?
I'm Florence, yeah.
And where are you from?
Argentina, Córdoba.
Why did you end up in Serbia?
I married a Serbian, so I did not have a choice other than... No, I'm kidding. I didn't even know where Serbia was in the map.
When you told your family and friends that you were going to Serbia, what was the reaction?
I think they got scared. I think my mom thought Serbia was a Muslim country. We came here 5 years ago, and it was an amazing choice. A really, really good choice. Serbian people, they have this popularity around the world to be like grumpy and like close, but that was not the case at all. They were so welcoming, so open, so friendly, and so nice, and they genuinely care about others, and there is such a big sense of community here that I always felt at home, even though I didn't speak the language at all when I arrived, like not even a word. We Argentinians are very similar in the culture. In Argentina, everything is about family, friends, food, and not working much. So it's like Serbians tick all those boxes.
What is your name?
Wanda Amber Quadras Ojegovic. Full name. Yeah.
What? Say it again.
Wanda Amber Quadras Ojegovic. I worked in Abu Dhabi for the longest time. My now husband used to also live in Abu Dhabi just across the road, and we were living in the same place for 4 years. But we never really met. I was in Serbia on vacation with my sister in 2018, and I happened to meet him in a restaurant. It was love at first sight. They're good people, they're really nice people, and I can see how welcoming they are to me being here as well. And I think that's what makes it easier for me to live here. I don't feel like an outsider, I already feel like I'm part of a part of society, you know.
Carlos, I'm from Mexico City.
Why did you decide to move to Serbia?
Mexico and Serbia, we have similar mentalities, similar lifestyle. We know how to enjoy the life, this family connection, friendships. So I really felt that I was already at home. There is a really interesting music, Jumex, so it means literally Yugoslavia and Mexico. Like this.
Where are you from?
Philippines.
Philippines, okay. And this is, you said, your 4th time in Serbia?
Yes.
Why do you come to Serbia so much?
Because I love the people and I love the culture, the food, especially Pleskavitska. I don't know if I say it right. I think like they are most hospitable than any other nationality I met. Yeah.
And that's a big compliment because Filipinos are some of the most hospitable people in the world.
But
right?
I know when you see their faces, like, you know, you will get scared. You know, but when you get to know them, they are pretty cool.
Do people treat you differently because you're not from here, or you don't feel that at all?
No, I don't feel that at all, and I feel like I belong here.
Yeah, you have a whole group of Serbs here, yes. So right?
I feel like I'm a part of the family, you know.
This is the family. This is my family.
Okay, so it was really clear to me that all the foreigners, no matter where they came from, felt very included here. But keep in mind that Serbia is not for the thin-skinned. It is not a country of polite niceties, and that can be incredibly jarring for a lot of the outsiders. I talked to a French-Serbian couple about it, and honestly, it was pretty funny hearing a Parisian complain about people being rude.
Serbian people can just kind of scream at you, but they're not trying to scream at you. It's just the way to speak. I was seeing Sergei have some interactions with people, and I'm like, are they angry? Are they like having a fight or something? No, they're just randomly
It's actually
speaking.
very friendly. It would not be weird for me to see my friend and to tell him or her, wow, you're fat. While not thinking anything bad. Why would you take it personally? That's your opinion. Yep. If you say, yeah, I got a bit fat, well, okay. If you think you didn't, well, you just say it. There is no hard feelings.
There is also the looks. Like people are gonna look at you in the eyes for 5 seconds while you're walking. And in France, no, you would like, I don't know, in the metro, you cross someone's eyes. You're just like, okay, I turn. While here, really, they're like. So I'm French, but my mom is from Cameroon and my dad has Italian origins. So I'm tanned, like I'm mixed. And I was wondering if people were looking at me because of that, because it's not usual here. And I figured out actually it's just curiosity, and it's just also the way that people interact with each other. I don't know, your neighbors, we say here, they know your life. And it's kind of true, like people are really curious, interested. They want to know every little detail. Like whenever I go somewhere without Sergei, they're gonna ask me, oh, where are you from? What are you doing? Your husband is from here, da, da, da. Like, they're just so curious.
I always like to say that it's not curiosity, it's just not every day that you see. The most beautiful man there.
Look at it, Serbian men are, very romantic to the world who doesn't know.
One of the cultural difference was the small talk, because I come from a place where we make small talk all the time, you know.
Yeah.
You want to make a reservation, you call up the restaurant, hi, how are you? Oh, fine, thank you. I was wondering if you could help me out with a reservation. Here, you pick up the phone, if you ask them how are you, they go like, what do you want? I have a job, you know. Oh, just get to the point and get on with it. Pretty transactional. With me, the difference is people are very curious to know more about where I'm from, because it's not every day that you would meet an Indian in Novi Sad. I always have people making conversation with me because they just want to know more.
Marina, worst about dating Serbian women.
Very nice.
What do you think foreigners get wrong about Serbia?
That we are a small country and that we don't have anything to look, to see, and that we are not the good ones, that we are bad people, so people don't want to come to the Serbia, and that is wrong. And everyone who comes, they are just like blow their minds because they know we are nice and we have good parties and people and places.
It's acceptable to show negative emotions. Somehow, the society somehow accepts it more than in the Western countries, for example, where you kind of have to be really polite, really, boundaries and all that. Here, there's not that much of it.
That we all wear tracksuits and just squat and drink hard liquor. I don't like that, and we need to change that.
What's up with the tracksuits and the squatting? Do you ever see that?
Yes, I have a tracksuit, but that's not the only thing I wear every day.
How often do you wear a tracksuit?
I wear it every day.
Yeah, the squatting Serb stereotype, of course.
Really? I'm not seeing one person squatting here. I don't know what's happening.
I mean, to be honest, I do squat sometimes. Yeah, I do. So
I think it's the toilets sometimes.
Oh yeah, that's also true. That's also true. Yeah, the toilets as well. I'm not good at it. I constantly people tell me your heels should be on the ground. I can't do that, but I do squat. I think it's genetic, to be honest.
What's the thing with squatting? I don't even know how that came about.
Comfortable. Yeah, it's comfortable. When you get tired of standing, you just kind of squat to rest your legs. I don't know.
You must have very good calves and thighs.
Me personally, no, but I still do it. I mean, but
this conversation got odd very, very fast.
Very fast. I don't know what's up with that. Yeah.
How would you describe Serbian mentality? It's such a loaded question because you are from here.
Community-based, I would say. A lot of people here have their communities to lean on, and they're friendly to accept other people to come into here as well and everything. I mean, there is a negative side. I'd say we're a bit more slower to accept new ideas. We're kind of like stone, it's hard to move a rock. It's hard to move a rock. We've been sitting in the same place for 50 years and it's hard to move it.
I think that's the title for this video. It's hard to move a rock. Sure. The Guide to Serbia.
Yeah, Guide to Serbia, yeah.
There are a lot of taboos still, like the gay culture, for example, the LGBT culture, actually. Other alternative subcultures, I think, are not maybe as accepted, but I think we're getting there slowly.
If you are, let's say, gay in Serbia, is that something that you wouldn't tell people?
Yeah, most of the time, yeah. Sometimes not even your family.
I feel like people can be judgy. They can be a bit closed. I feel like people are boxed and they don't really like to go out of the box.
Like, okay, when I think of Paris, it's very like liberal, right? It's very like, ooh, actually, it's cool to be like LGBTQ. Think outside of the box, and like those things are cool, but then they judge towards other things. And I think here it's vice versa. It's like, no, this is weird, right?
Yeah.
The alternative lifestyle is weird.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So there is just a different side of judgment.
They judge
and
different things.
Yeah.
Alternative becomes random, becomes normal. Like you're so much trying to be alternative that you're just like any other people that you see in Paris.
I always say that Serbia is like Europe 50 years ago.
Yes.
And I love that. I absolutely love that. Serbia is not contaminated with the European woke mind. And I am so proud to say that. I know it might be controversial, but we hear a lot of crazy shit coming from Canada, from the States, from Netherlands, from, I don't know, many countries. But we don't have that. We don't have such thing, which is, of course, both good and bad. Because I also think that, for example, gay people here are not as free as they could be. And I empathize with that. But at the same time, you don't have kindergartens putting weird messages in the kids about sexuality at such a young age. And I absolutely love that.
Yeah, it's funny, right? Because when you think of, oh, I'm going to Serbia, somehow you think it's going to be kind of dangerous and gritty and weird. And then you come here especially, right? And it's just like the most peaceful, family-friendly place, super safe.
I wish that Serbians knew so they could appreciate how lucky they are, that they have literal gold in their hands for the kind of society they live in, and that everyone kind of looks after each other. There is still this sense of vicinity, and you're friends with your neighbors, and people look after each other on the streets, even with strangers. You can leave literally all your stuff around. Nobody will take them. Again, that's something that you don't have in Argentina. If you're a woman walking alone in the streets at 2 a.m. wearing very short crop top and shorts, nobody's even going to look at you. And that's something that you don't get in Argentina.
It's actually a super safe country. Like I feel safer here than in Paris.
You can walk through the night and no one will be care about you. You can sit and drink beer on the street and nobody care about you and what you do.
Let's talk about safety. So I gotta admit, I felt very safe walking home at night, but keep in mind that I only stayed here for 4 days, so it's really hard to draw any kind of conclusions from that. But I also talked to the locals who told me that it was very common to see little kids walking to school alone, or even cribs or strollers parked outside of the cafes completely unattended. But I wanted to check the stats, and statistically, Serbia's violent rate is actually pretty low. For context, the capital Belgrade scores a high 62.2 on the safety index, putting it right behind Vienna and Prague. Meanwhile, London, Brussels, and Paris are way down in the low 40s. Belgrade is definitely not the safest city, but it's up there. However, I compared Novi Sad against other second largest cities in Europe, and it scores at 61.6, sitting right next to Rotterdam, while tourist hubs like Barcelona, Milan, and Birmingham rank way below. The factor that negatively impacts the city is actually corruption, bribery, and aggressive driving. But why is it so safe? It actually comes down to community. In the West, individualistic culture means people often look away when something happens. But here, traditional values of decency and protection are still alive. If someone is being harassed on the street, bystanders won't pretend they don't see it. They'll step in. And this brings me to the ultimate secret weapon of Balkan culture, a concept that both made me feel very North American and very anxious. And it's polako. You actually find versions of this slow, take it easy approach all across the Balkans. I actually just come from Greece, where they call this exact mindset halara, a term I touched upon in my last video, which is one of my favorites, so I strongly encourage you to check it out after this one. Anyways, here I was running around frantically with my camera, gulping down my coffee, and essentially going crazy, as I had about 3-4 days per country to film a video. Try doing that and also polakoing. It's impossible. But what's more, I had realized that I had completely forgotten how to do nothing. I'll go to the beach with a book in hand, very excited to spend the day off doing nothing and get super restless within hours and want to get back to work. I realized that for me nowadays, it's always like, what's next? What can I achieve? What can I do better? How can I progress? But here, life simply does not work like that. Now, if you're planning your own trip out here and want to experience polako firsthand, I've put my exact travel toolkit down in the description below, so you can go check it out.
Сербский менталитет какой? Расслабленный?
Очень. Мне кажется, иногда слишком. Сербская полако. В России привыкли своя брзо-брзо-брзо, а в Сербии своя полако.
We Russians and Ukrainians, we are like always in trends.
More progressive.
More progressive, yeah.
When I just came, I was like, we're gonna open the cafeteria, like coffee to go or something. The old man, he told me that, if you don't have time to drink your coffee with yourself or your friends, there's something wrong with your life. And I remember my rabbit life in Moscow. Like, I was drinking coffee at 12 because it's normal Moscow life. I finish work at 11, because I have American clients. And then I understood that here they value kind of like life more. They're not running and they're not chasing money or success. If they have money enough for their living, for their family, and they're satisfied, done. And for us, we always want more. And it's kind of like one of the challenges for me that I'm trying to teach myself living here, that I don't have to rush. Polako, exactly, polako.
How is your experience, now that you lived in Abu Dhabi, coming to a place like Novi Sad in Serbia?
It's I really appreciate how slow life is here in a good way. There's no hustling. Everything is calm. You don't have to get into the mindset that you need to, with an agenda to get out. Yeah, you get out and you see what's happening. Everyone's relaxed and laid back. Abu Dhabi is more fast-paced because everything, you need a structure, you need routine to get anything done there.
To a mindset obsessed with efficiency, like our very own North American mindset, the concept of polako can feel a lot like laziness. In the West, we wear our stress like a badge of honor. When someone asks, how are you? It's very common to say, oh, I'm so busy. And you feel a sense of pride in that. Because if you're busy, you're out there progressing, achieving, doing. Being in the Balkans reminded me that we are forgetting to just be. But while there's something so beautiful in learning to just be, to stay in the moment, this no rush philosophy also applies to absolutely everything. So a really great example is that the tire on my wheel came undone. And essentially all that needed to be fixed was the tire. And going around the Balkans, I would ask, could you please fix this? I need this done in 2-3 days. And I would either receive a no, like a firm, like, no, cannot help you. Or it was like 30 days. Take it or leave it. And I didn't have 30 days.
I feel like you can never really trust that something is gonna happen. Let's say you need a part for a car. You're calling 10 times. Yeah, okay, it's gonna be there on Monday. Okay, Tuesday, nothing. Wednesday, nothing. Thursday, nothing. And then you can go like this forever. You are calling someone to have an appointment with whatever. Okay, yes, we'll do it, but I'll let you know. Nah, nah, nah. It's never really set like. And that really annoys me actually, because sometimes I would just like to plan, to know, to be like, okay, okay, it's done, or just tell me, no, I cannot, and we'll do it another time, and that's completely fine. And at the same time, if I can say something positive about it, like you will just go at the last time to some place and you're like, do you have this, or could you help me with that? Yeah, of course.
You can go with some Serbian, they can be 30 minutes, 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, 2 hours, and stay in a coffee shop, talking, relaxing. But sometimes they are so stressed about, in my opinion, some minor things. They are obsessed or trying to catch their bus, even though there is one more coming in 5, 7, 10 minutes, but they are stressed about that. But in terms of this relax in the coffee shop, they are so flexible. So this combination for me sometimes is like a contradiction.
Let's talk about dating. In the West, dating has become largely a numbers game, and it often feels disposable. But Serbia is interesting because it sits between two worlds. Historically, it was shaped by both the Ottoman East and the Austro-Hungarian West. Serbia is basically a cultural contradiction. While people are living very modern Western lives, When it comes to love, family, and relationships, many traditional values are still very much alive. Take Belgrade. The southern part of the city across the Sava River spent centuries under the Ottoman rule, and the city still carries this intense, chaotic energy. Belgrade is loud, social, and full of contrasts. Here, dating is much more performative, and you can really see it in this Plav nightlife. Much more peacocking from the man, generosity, buying drinks, flashing the keys. And women put a lot of effort into their appearance and presentation. It's actually quite an entertaining scene. You can check it out in the video that I filmed about dating in Belgrade a few years ago. But here in Novi Sad, the energy changes completely. Novi Sad developed under the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and you can really feel that influence. People seem more understated, there's less of that performance, and more emphasis on stability, community, and family life.
When I came from Moscow, my kids were like, I don't know, maybe I'm gay, maybe I'm this, and they were dating girls and something online because now I have 2 kids, 2 girls. They're going to be this year 20 and 16. So when we came, they were like 12 and 16. And they were like in that rebellious vibe. But then you see those huge guys, families, people in love, and they start understanding that probably it's not something weird. My elder started singing with them songs and what I had in the childhood, not the phone childhood, but this life. So that is making this place is specific and amazing for young people.
People here date with intention. All of the single friends of my husband that start dating with somebody, they call her, the girl, my girlfriend immediately. And then 2 weeks in, they are already meeting each other's families. And that's not weird, that's expected, that's the rule, that's what happened. It's like, yeah, of course, like they think in reverse. They think like, why wouldn't I introduce my girlfriend to my family? And I found that beautiful. I think that we Argentinians are a little fucked up when it comes to dating. Like, people can date for years, like literally years, I'm not exaggerating, without them being serious. It's like if we don't have to talk, like we are boyfriend and girlfriend, which is like high school life, you are allowed to see other people. And I had that chip, that mentality in my head until I met my Serbian. He told me, no around here. And it's true, and I thought that he was original in that sense, but no, that's a rule here. People date seriously, and majority of people date to marry. They don't like just around. But that also has another side of this coin, which is that it's weird to see female and male friendships. Back home, I have many male friends. I grew up being friends with men, whereas in here, if you see a man and a woman, you will always assume they're a couple, because there is not such thing as friendship between men and women.
If you go out with someone, like start seeing someone, it's a little bit weird to like see multiple people at the same time. I could not do it. I wouldn't have the energy. I just don't know how to focus on multiple people. It's weird. It's like, it's either I focus on that one person and we see where it goes. Actually going out, investing time and energy into a couple people or 3-4 people, it's just not... No, I don't understand that.
А какие сербские мужчины? What are the Serbian men like?
Вообще сербские мужчины тоже не торопятся, у всех полако, но мой муж очень быстро женился. А по его друзьям, 99% его друзей, они по 5-10 лет в год, 10 лет в отношениях, но не женятся. Это мне очень странно. А у нас как бы мы привыкли, что встречаешься год, 2, и женишься, да.
What do you think about this? That Serbian men take their time before committing?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I can understand that. I have some years to get married, but I don't want to. I want to have a job, a secure job, money, my car, and then I can go with my man. So I can fully understand, and because they are men, they should have their own houses, cars, and everything to put their family first. But first you must have your stuff, and then you can provide everything to your families.
My husband was the one who wanted to get married, because I really wanted to get married. It's not like that. But he is 6 years older than me, and I could see that from his friend circle that everybody takes their marriage very seriously, and it's really reaffirming to see that, that the friend circle that he has, they're all extremely family focused as well.
I hear kind of two different things depending on who I'm talking to. One of it is like that Serbs still have very traditional values, and like if you're dating someone, you're dating to get married. And then someone says, actually it takes forever for Serbs to commit and actually get married. What do you think?
I think it's a whole spectrum, yeah, and it just depends on the guy you choose. I mean, even like geopolitically, when we look at it, we're like exactly between the West and the East, and so we're like a bit progressive, a bit traditional, a bit of everything. And so I think it really depends on like the guy you choose or the girl you choose. Like I know some people my age that already have 2 kids, but I also know some people that are 10 years older than me that have never been in like a serious relationship. I think it's all over the place.
Do you think it's true that Serbian women are strong women?
Yeah. I mean, historically, it's been a bit of a struggle in the past decades or so. I mean, it builds stronger people. Even like with my grandparents' generation and everything, they weren't that traditional. I mean, my grandma and great-grandma also decided on everything around the house, and they went to work in the fields at the exact same hours as men and dealt with finances and everything.
We are in transition. Internet has affected our lives big time. So I would say the ground culture here it's like a hunting scene. Men basically they hunt, which means they persist. And it has been like that for ages. Because I lived in Canada, I saw that difference. I mean, over there, if you send one SMS more, it's considered a little bit aggressive. But here you're encouraged to send messages every day for 365 days, and that will be welcoming.
Is that true?
That is true.
Or are we going to get girls on the internet being like, no, don't do that. Don't tell foreign guys to do that.
I mean, that's the mechanics of it.
Macho men are still in Serbia.
Macho men, yeah.
Sports suits, track suits, and macho men.
And squats.
I have a stereotype of like Serbian men being very macho and very assertive.
Ooh, it's gonna go. Oh, they are pretty assertive. They are macho. I'm pretty macho and assertive as well. So when it comes to my husband being that way, we hardly ever fight. But when we do fight, it sticks for a while because we both are very strong-headed people, and both of us have
Stubborn. This is the stereotype that I heard.
Oh, that's not a stereotype. That's true.
For me, Serbs seem very macho, like assertive men. True?
Yeah, it's true.
Did they approach? They're like,
No. I have a boyfriend, and I came to him first. So now he's macho, but back then it's not.
So men don't approach here anymore.
It's very, very difficult to, if you're single, to find somebody, for example, in the club for serious relationship. You find your boyfriend through college, through friends, and that's it. Like we hanging out, and after that we are in a relationship.
That's a spectrum. That's a whole spectrum. You cannot categorize them. On one end of the spectrum, there's like the typical Serbian man that you would imagine. He's like a bit buff, he's probably wearing his hair short, has a couple of tattoos, goes to the gym, likes to go out to kafana and everything like that. A bit more traditional and everything, but then the other end of the spectrum is like a completely alternative guy who just likes feminism and people's rights movements and everything, and like he's super open-minded and he's like not built like the typical Serbian dude. And in my experience, there's an equal amount of them. People usually say like it's more of the traditional types, but from what I've seen, I mean, maybe it's the circles that I'm in, but I think they're like pretty equally distributed.
Serbians, you can date him for a couple of months, then it turned out but only for sex, and then it turned out that of course it's only for, of course he has family or girlfriend, or doesn't matter, because that's, it's different things, and you're like, what? Wait a second. So for me, first it was like hard to proceed, that for them this different vibe of cheating is completely different,
So cheating is more accepted?
what I heard, kinda, like I've been hanging out with guys sometimes, like, because friends of friends. And I heard the stories how they talk between themselves. And it's like, well, yeah, but it doesn't mean that I don't love my life. Like this, it's completely different things.
Wait, I feel like in Russia, it's something similar, no? Because there's so many women and there's so many beautiful women and men just feel so entitled.
Here it's more like Italian vibe, straightforward. Yes, I like you, you like me, we're together.
I think in Serbia, these role genders are like more present nowadays, and I will say in Mexico, especially in the main cities, they are kind of disappearing.
Because it's a conservative society, the woman is expected to carry the majority of the housework and of course take care of children. And that is expected, that is normal, and again, it's kind of the role that women have in this society, which they don't question. That is actually one of the subjects that could bring some sort of issues between my Serbian, very conservative husband and me.
Coming from a big city, like living in Paris, where I think it's really like dating here and there, doing some little things, having a relationship. Okay, it lasts 2 years, is good, let's go forward. But here I feel like people are married maybe younger than in France, and in Paris definitely. Way more kids. I think it would be easier if, for example, I had a kid to meet the moms of the other kids, because truly my age.
How old are you, can I ask?
I'm almost 30, so 29.
Yeah. And here you see a lot of like younger women with kids.
Yeah, definitely.
On paper, Serbia's approach to family really stands out. Across much of the Western Europe, more and more people are becoming less interested in getting married. I hear this all the time when I conduct my on-the-street interviews. In countries like Sweden and Japan, more than half of the babies are born outside of marriage. But in Serbia, only 25% of babies are born outside of marriage. People still see the creation of family as an important step in life, and part of it comes down to the turbulent history of Serbia. In a region that has experienced so much instability and change, people have historically relied heavily on the people closest to them. A Serbian family is often a whole network of support: parents, grandparents, siblings, cousins, all connected and all involved in each other's lives.
The thing is, there are a lot of similarities when it comes to our cultures, when it comes to keeping family in the center of everything. Everything is family rooted. You would do anything for your family. And friendship, I think they're people of their words, So if they promise you they'll do it, they'll do it. I kind of got attracted to that.
With my husband, we go literally every Sunday to his hometown, which is 45 kilometers. We make the effort to drive every Sunday to spend time with his parents, with his sister, and we all eat as a family. After food, we have desserts, whatever, because Serbian mothers make a big feast. Every occasion is a good occasion to eat a lot. And then we have coffee together, and then we're speaking all day. All the Serbians do the same. And you also have a big group of friends that genuinely help each other. I love that every time that my husband needs something from their friends show up to help him, and they show up happy to help.
If you have a situation, you are somewhere in Serbia, in village, I don't know, your car is not going, every guy in this village gonna help you with car. One gonna say, you can sleep at my house, second floor. Some guy will bring you a meal. Another guy will help you to make your car moving, I don't know. It's what I very like in Serbians.
They've been so welcoming, and especially my mother-in-law. So we don't speak the same language. She doesn't speak any English, and I'm trying to learn Serbian, but it's really difficult. But we communicate. We somehow we communicate through food. We communicate through coffee. When we go to visit her, she just has to look at me and say kafa, and I'm like, yes, let's go coffee. So we have a really nice bond somehow.
They think of us as really tough, which we are. It's not that we're not, but maybe like unapproachable, aggressive. Maybe we have this hard external shell, but once you come inside, I think we're really soft on the inside, And we are really loyal friends. We're really loyal. We will do anything and everything for the people we love. So
when I travel in Serbia, Bosnia and Montenegro, I feel very free, like I could do anything I want, while in Western Europe I do feel a bit restricted. I go on a hike and I see SOS line, or I see the perfect guardrails, or if I see a paved road.
I want to fall down.
Yes, absolutely.
They do a lot of different stops before. before they actually come to
Okay,
you.
so-
It's okay.
This is what happens when you're in Novi Sad and there's literally kids everywhere. Anyways,
I feel like we're pretty humble. We don't need much to be happy. Of course, it would be a lot better if, you know, the government was better, and that's a big thing. And people here do struggle a lot, you know, financially, definitely. I feel like because you have that community and family and friends here, maybe it's a little bit easier.
I think I'm trying to live in the Serbian Balkan style, you know, going for this coffee culture, small breaks in the morning, going to some pekara bakery, ordering burek, having the yogurt, going to the kafana. I always do this comparison between Mexican cantina and Serbian kafana. Mexican musicians call mariachi and the Serbian musicians call tamburashi.
I love that people here seem to be so present. When you go outside and you see like literally all the cafes full of people that are literally hanging out and just talking to each other. I don't know how to explain it, but there is just so much beauty in the presence of people just socializing and being with other people. It's all about the people, really.
Look, life in Serbia is far from perfect. The polako mentality is charming when you are enjoying a sunny afternoon, but less so when you need to get something done today. And while relationships here tend to feel more traditional and intentional compared to what I've seen in a lot of Western Europe, it's not some idyllic fairy tale. But I have to give Balkans credit where credit is due. While so many of us in North America spend our lives optimizing everything, our calendars, our productivity, our workouts, even our friendships, people here seem to optimize for something else: time together. They're not waiting until Friday to grab a beer. They don't need to schedule a coffee 3 weeks in advance. They just show up. And maybe I'm idealizing it. Obviously, Belgrade moves at a faster, chaotic rhythm than a smaller city like Novi Sad. But even here, on a random Tuesday night, the cafes are overflowing. And look, this lifestyle is not for everyone. I'm way too obsessed with my work and progressing and spending my days lounging about. I would probably lose my mind. But being here makes me wonder if we've started optimizing the wrong things. Because at the end of the day, your life isn't just shaped by your career, your bank account, the amount of stuff that you've accumulated. Time and time again, research keeps showing us that the predictor of a good, long, and fulfilling life is actually so simple. It's the people around us, it's the community, and it's feeling like you belong. And yeah, Balkans have cracked the code on that.